Hi, I'm Saffron, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to play a simple song on guitar. First, I want to show you some things that you might need when you're playing guitar. Obviously, you want a guitar. You could have an electric guitar. I'm just choosing to use acoustic today. You might want some picks. This one is made of a harder plastic, so it's more rigid and it makes the notes more defined when you strum. There's some softer plastic ones. They bend more easily and they're easier to use when you have a lot of fast notes. You're going to be strumming a lot. They're easier to make those notes come out. You also might want a tuner. So when you're tuning your guitar, you're just going to strum a string and it'll tell you if you're sharp or flat. If you're sharp, you're going to want to, that means your note is high. So you're going to turn this peg, the peg of the string, in towards you. If you're flat, that means your note is too low. So you want to tighten up the string by turning the peg away from you. Alright, let's get started. So on this song, it's based in the C chord. So that means your fingers are going to be here. You're not going to be using the first string at all for this song, but you do want to have your fingers positioned in the C chord for the start of the song. So what you're going to start out with first is you're just going to be going all the way down. You're going to be using the middle 4 strings for this part of the song. The outer 2 aren't used yet. So you're just going to strum down, and once you get to that 3rd note, you're going to move your middle finger down a string and play that string again. And then you just keep on going down to the last note. And then you come back up the strings. So it's going to sound like you're coming down and then you're just reversing it back up. Now for this song, you're going to want to play that twice. So all together, it'll just sound like this. The next part of the song, you're just going to move your middle finger and ring finger down a string. And then this finger is going to stay where it's at for now, but eventually you're going to end up moving this finger down and then this finger also down. So for now, you're just going to play going down the strings that your fingers are on now. So right now, we're not using the top 2 strings, we're just going to use the bottom 4. So you're going to go down, and then you're going to move your middle finger to the string that your first finger is on in the 3rd fret. And then move your first finger down to that bottom string, and then go back up. And you're not going to play the bottom note. So it's just going to sound like this. And then you're just going to go back to what we just played and repeat it again. So all together, it's going to sound like this. You're just playing that first part once the second time through. Then, the last part, we're just going to add, using these 3 strings, we're just going to add a little bit of a riff. So then you're just going to go open, so no fingers on a string, and that's the 4th string right there. So open, open, and then add your ring finger on the 3rd fret. And then you're just going to play the last string open. So together it would sound like this. And then you're going to go back to the second little section we played. So it's when you moved your fingers down. And you're going to play that, but you're not going to play the top note. So you're just going to go. And then you go back to the very start again and play it all the way down, but you're not coming back up. And there you go. I'm going to play it all together so you can hear what it sounds like. And there you go. There's a simple little song. And if you're trying to make it sound more fancy or elevated, there are a few tricks that I can show. So the first one, which is fun in my opinion, is you're gonna play it faster once you get the hang of it, and you're just gonna double up every single note. So if you're using a pick, you're just gonna strum down and then up on every single note. So it's gonna sound like this. And you're gonna do that for the whole song. Another way is if you hear when you're playing the notes in the middle here, they sound nice and full and rich. If you come back down here, it sounds a little bit more twangy. I like to think of it close to a banjo, but it's still a guitar. So if you play it down here, it's going to sound like this. See the difference? Okay. The last way that you can make it sound cool is you're going to give it a little bit of a blues tone. So what you're going to do is you're going to add some accidentals in there. Now, it might be a little bit tricky if you don't have the hang of it yet, but all you need to do is add a little note on the front of on the fret before some of the notes. So for example, on the first part of the song, all you're going to do is go, and then instead of going up to the C, you're going to go, and then just go and add a note behind that last note on the fourth string. So it would sound like this. And then you continue that for the whole song, adding accidentals where you feel like they sound cool. There you go. I hope you enjoyed. That's just a little song I like to play. Hope you learned it. Okay,